In the inaugural bilateral visit of his third term and his first to Russia since it invaded Ukraine in February 2022, Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed in Moscow on Monday with a clear message that New Delhi sought to play a supportive role for a peaceful and stable region. And both sides were committed to deepening their special and privileged strategic partnership in futuristic areas of cooperation. Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin met on Monday night at the latter's dacha in the Moscow suburbs of Novo-Ogaryovo and will hold talks at the 22nd India-Russia Annual Summit on Tuesday. Sources said that the Indian side will convey to the Russians that a solution cannot be found on the battlefield, a formulation that goes beyond what Modi had told him at their last in-person bilateral. In Samarkand, Uzbekistan, on the sidelines of the SCO summit in September 2022, Modi had told Putin, and I quote, "This is not the era of war," a line that was later used in the G20's Bali declaration that November and by Western leaders and interlocutors to press Russia to end the war. As a preface to the meeting, both had warm exchanges. Putin told Modi, and I quote, "Param Dost, dear friend, you have a lot of ideas, you are very energetic, and you know how to get results for the benefit of India and the Indian people. And the results are evidence. India is confident, third largest economy in the world, and the biggest country in the world in terms of population." Modi responded, and I quote, "This is such a happy moment that you invited me to your home. I am very grateful for this. I have been working for 10 years in the government and my principle is reform, perform and transform. The people voted for these very principles and I am confident. I believe that in my third term, I am going to work 3 times as much." Modi's visit assumes significance as it comes after the G7 summit last month in Italy, where he met US President Joe Biden, French President Emmanuel Macron, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, and Ukraine's President Zelensky. US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan then visited New Delhi to meet with his counterpart Ajit Doval and the Prime Minister. Now, with Russia having an upper hand in the war and a possibility of Donald Trump returning as the US president later this year, Modi's visit is being seen as Delhi positioning itself for what could follow 6 months from now. Significantly, Modi's visit to Russia comes as leaders of 32 nations in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization gather in Washington, D.C. from July 9 to 11 to celebrate 75 years of anti-Russia military alliance. Today, Modi will also lay a wreath at the tomb of an unknown soldier in the Kremlin and will visit the Roastam Pavilion at the exhibition venue in Moscow. These engagements will be followed by a restricted level talks between the two leaders on Tuesday, which will then be followed by delegation level talks led by the Prime Minister and Russian President. For more updates, keep watching the Indian Express.